Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is Python function called Eval. So how to evaluate Python expression dynamically. So this eval function evaluates whatever we provided expression, then it will check if it is Python statement, then it will be executed. This is eval is built-in function and that allows us to evaluate the Python expression as string and return the value as integer. And our syntax is eval. So we need to provide three variables here. One is expression, globals, and locals. So here globals and locals are optional. So we need to provide expression compulsory. So this expression we need to provide in the form of a string and it will evaluate that Python expression. So globals and locals are optional. So this we'll see with some example in this at the end of the notebook. And what we get written is it will give you expression. So first we'll try with some example. So I'm giving simple eval. If I try to run this, it will throw you error because as per syntax, we need to provide expression. So we are not providing any expression here. So here it telling that eval expected at least one argument, but we got 0. So next what I'm doing, I'm trying to provide one expression here inside. Here I provided one, but still it will throw error because one argument we provided, but that should be string, but I provided as integer. If you see here, we need to provide as string. So this expression always it takes as string type, so not integer. So that's why it's throwing you error. So now what I'm doing is I'm providing this one integer value in the form of string format. So here I will try to run and I'm printing type here. So my value is 1 and this value is integer type. See here I am passing as string value, but here I am getting as integer. So if you see here, see Python expression we are providing as string and we are getting return value as integer type because this one is integer value. So in here, I'm trying to provide negative value -1. So always we need to provide in the form of string. So here I'm trying to type value and data type. See our value is -1 and type is integer type. So here what I'm doing, here I'm trying to enter some value here and I'm printing this. If I try to run that, it will ask you to enter something here. So here I'm entering 5. This is integer value. If you see output, see our value is 5, but we are getting as string type. Why? Because I'm entering as 5. Okay, integer value. So that's why it giving you string. Suppose here I given only input and enter. So here what I'm trying to do is, here I'm using eval function and inside that I'm giving input. So if I try to run this now, I will enter here some 10 integer value. So now it will give you integer type. Okay, so here I will try to run x comma type C. So it will print our value. Suppose I will enter 10. See here, our value is 10, but integer type. See here, we are getting string type because we are not using eval here. So, but here we are using eval and that's why it's giving you integer. So that means whatever the type will provide here, it will give you exact correct data type by using eval. Suppose here I entered integer value, so it giving integer value. Suppose in next example, I am trying to provide some float value. Suppose I will give you some 10.5. So I'll try to print value also here. See here, our value is 10.5, but this is float type. So because of eval, it giving your float. Okay, so next eval input, what I am doing here is I will try to enter some Boolean value. Suppose I will enter true here. So it will give you, so our Boolean value is true and it giving type as Boolean. Next, what I'm doing, eval, and I will try to enter input. Now I will give you string type. So string type, how we need to provide with single quote, and I am entering as Suresh. If you try to enter, see my string is Suresh. So since it is string type, it giving you string type. And here I'm trying to enter eval input, and I'm entering input as list. So list of values. So here I'm entering list 10, 20, 30. If I try to enter this, so my entered value is list of elements. So that's why it's giving you list type. So similar way here, I will try to enter tuple. So suppose my tuple is this one, tuple of elements 10, 20, 30. So here I'll try to enter the input, this particular tuple, and see it giving you this tuple of elements, and the type is tuple. So now what I'm trying to enter is eval, and input is I'm entering tuple of 10. So it giving 10, but it giving integer. See, we are giving in the form of a tuple, but we have single element. Okay, so similar example, we'll see one more. Like, suppose I will try to enter tuple inside element 10, comma. See, earlier I given only 10, so that's why I given integer type. So here I'm trying to enter 10, say only simple comma. Now this type is tuple. So next what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do sum of integers. So I'm using eval function and I'm trying to do sum of these three elements 10, 20, 30. See these are all elements. Always I'm giving with double quote because we need to pass in as string type. So this I'm trying to print here x, and what is this type. So similar way I given some expression here. So it will calculate this and it will provide you that value and type of that value. See here 10 plus 20 divided by 3, and 3 square 4, and modulus 5 into 40. So this expression it will evaluate and it will give you, see here first one it is 60, sum of these values is 60, and this is integer. Okay, it providing you integer, and after this expression evaluation it giving you 10.0. So that's why it giving you float type. So next, see I have different expressions here. Eval 2 square of 8, and I'm printing this type. So similar way I given here two decimal values, float values, and here I want to do sum of list of elements. Okay, so in list it will do sum of these three elements, and finally it will tell you what is the value and type of that value. And here I'm doing some arithmetic operations like eval 5 plus 7. That means it will add these two values and it will give you that value and type. So similar way 5 into 7, and 5 square square of 7, and similar way 5 plus 7 by 2. So if I try to run this, we'll see one by one. See, first one is 2 square of 8. So that means that is 256, that is integer. So second is these two decimal values, it giving you this one decimal value. So that's why it giving you float. And the third one is sum of a list of elements. It will do sum. So 48, 56. So 56, and this is integer type. And 5 plus 7. So arithmetic 0, 1, 5 plus 7, that is 12. Arithmetic 0, 1, that is 12, and that is integer. And next is 5 into 7, that is 35, and that is integer. And next 5 square root of 7. So it will get this value, and this is integer type. So here 5 plus 7, 12 by 6 by 2, 12 by 2, 6. So we are getting 6.0 float value. So that's why we are getting float type. So like this, you can provide any kind of expression here. It will evaluate and it will give you type. So suppose I am giving x as 100, and I'm using eval function here, and x into 2. So what we will do, x is 100, 100 into 2. It will give you 200, and that is integer type. So here I'm providing x equal to 100 and y equal to 100. I'm using eval function, and inside that I'm giving condition x is not equal to y. If you see here, x equal to y, actually this is x equal to y. But since we given not, it will give you false, and it will give you Boolean type. And here eval x is y. So since both are same, it will give you true and Boolean type. If you see here, see first one is false, second one is true, and both are Boolean type. And here using eval function, x is less than 200 and y is greater than 100. So it will compare and it will give you value here. But this is false. That means x is less than 200. So our x is 200. Sorry, x is 100. So what it telling is 100 less than 200. That is false. And y is greater than 100. So even that also false, because y is 100. So what I will do here, I will try to add here only, because these x and y variables are defined here. Okay, so this I will remove this. So next is, so I'm using eval function x in I given set here. So inside set I have 50, 100, 150, 200. So what is my x is 100. So it will check. So x equal to 100, it will check in this set because we have 100. So it will type true, and type is Boolean. See, this is true and this is Boolean. So similar way, I'm using eval function and I'm entering value here, expression I'm entering. So in expression, what I'm entering is, I have list of elements and I want to calculate length of this list. So I'll try to run this and I will enter this list of elements and with length function. If I try to enter that, it will give you length of this list is 6, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 elements are there. So it giving 6 and the type is integer type. So similar way, Here I want to find out sum of list of elements. So I'm using eval function and I'll try to enter this expression. That is, I have list of elements. I want to do sum of these elements. So doing 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 5, 15. We are getting 15 and that is integer type. So similar way, I'm providing two inputs here. One is X and Y. So my X is enter number one and this is Y. And finally, what I'm doing is I'm doing addition. So here I'm trying to enter 50. My first X is 50 and Y also I'm entering as 50. See our input, our output is 5050 it coming. But what we given is we want to add these two values. But why we are getting 5050 is we are entering in the integer values, but here we are not using eval function. Since we are not using eval function, it giving you like this 5050. So same example, here I'm trying to use integer. So suppose if I try to run this and my first value is 50 and second value also I will enter 50. See it giving you 100. What I will do is gent comma, I will try to print type also, type of gent. It will be easy. So I'll try to enter 50 and Y also I will enter 50. So my sum is 100 and that is integer type. So here also I will try to print z comma type of z. So I will enter 50 and 50. Our sum is 5050 and class is string. See, by default, it considering as string. So since we are not converting here, no integer. So we are not using here integer. So by default, it considering as string. So if you add two strings, what will happen? 50 plus 50. So that's why we're getting 5050. So here we used integer and here we'll try to enter one integer and one float value by using this int. See, both x and y we are converting to integer type. Suppose if I try to run this, so first I'm entering 50, x is 50 and y I'm entering as 50.5. So that means one integer, one float value. See here, first one is 50. So since we mentioned integer, so this is allowed. And second, I'm entering 50.5, that is float. But here I given integer, so that's why it's throwing error. So here I'm using eval function and inside that input and I have to enter these values. One is x value. So first I will enter my x value as 50 and second one as 50. So I want to do sum here, x plus y. So my first sum is 100, that is printing here, and type is integer. So 100 is integer. So next what I'm doing, I'm using eval function and I want to pass x and y. So this time I'm passing one integer and one float value. So my first x value is integer, that is 50, and second value y, that I'm providing as float 50.5. See, this time it not throwing error. So it adding these two, that is 100.5, and my class is float. So earlier, if you see here, so here also I provided 50 and 50.5. It thrown error because I used int, but here I'm not used eval. So if you use eval, it won't throw error. Even it will combine both combination, that is integer and float. And next is, so I'm trying to enter two string values, and x I'm trying to provide one string value, that is, suppose you can mention any name. So here I am giving Swati, that is my x value, and my second string is maybe Akash. So what it doing is z equal to x plus y. So it adding you two strings, Swati, Akash. If I try to separate this one, maybe I will give you some space or underscore. Maybe I'll give space. And my second string is Akash. So see, Swati, Akash, that is my sum, because I'm doing sum of two strings. So since I used eval, it doing sum and it will giving you type, string type. And next one is I'm trying to enter two list of elements. So here I want to do sum, and I'll write here only instead of separately type gent. So my first value is 10, 5, my list of element. So first x I will provide as list of elements, that is 10, 5, and my second value, that is y, that is this list of elements of three elements 12, 15, 25. And if you try to enter it adding you, so as single list, here two elements, and these three elements, total 5 elements, and this type is list because this list of elements. So next I'm checking with tuple. So I'm trying to enter two tuples. One is x value, one more is y value. I want to add, that is x plus y. If I try to enter this is my first tuple, and my second tuple is this one. So it is adding. So total now I have a tuple of 6 elements, and this type is tuple. So next we'll see global variables. So initially we discussed about in syntax we have no globals and locals. So here we'll see globals. So I'm using eval function, and I'm defining my expression, that is x plus 50 plus x and square of 2. So normally we'll provide here. So either we can provide here before as global variable x equal to 10, or you can provide as dictionary key value pair. Suppose if you see our syntax globals, this is optional, and we need to provide as a dictionary to specify the our available global methods and variables. And even locals also we need to specify as dictionary. So here first I'm trying with dictionary. Global variable I'm passing as dictionary, and this x value I'm giving as in form of dictionary, that is key value pair. So my x is 10. So what it will do is it will pass this 10 here, 10 plus 50, 60, and 10 root of square of 2. So this will evaluate this expression. It will print that value. So 160 we are getting, and that is integer type. So one more option is, so here x, my key is x, and value also given x, but that x I defined here, x equal to 10. So this is one more method you can define like this. So my expression is same. So only difference is way of mentioning. And now I have three variables, x, y, z, and I'm using Eval, and I want to add these three variables, x, y, z. See here, I defined variables here. So parallelly, I have to define here dictionary. So my x is x, my y is y, z is z. So either you can pass like this global variables, or uh, uh, you can directly define these variables x, y, z, and simply you can write function eval x plus y plus z. So no need to mention this dictionary. So you can follow either of the method. So if you try to enter this, we'll get value 1200, and the type is integer. So similar way, here I'm going to calculate some mathematical function. So for that, I'm importing math uh, library here. And what I'm doing is eval math.py pi, and I'm multiplying with power of 25 comma 2. So first it will do power, and then it will multiply this, it will do pi. So then it will print this value and type of that. So similarly, I have one more eval function. So here this expression is same. So only thing is I added this one, 4 by 3. So it will evaluate this expression and it will give you, and it will print that particular type. So here math dot square root, and inside that math dot power, it will do first power, power 10 of 2, and plus power of 15 comma 2. So first it will add these two powers, then it will do square root. If I try to run this, all these three values it will give you. So first one, that is, this is the output, and this is float type. So similar way, this one, this also we are giving decimal value, and type is float type. And third one, this also we are getting decimal type, and we are getting float type. So I try to explain eval function with different types of expressions. So like this, we can use eval function in Python. So yeah, that's all about this video. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.